Good morning, YouTube. Sir Owen Disney here, and it's almost 10 a.m., which means I'll be leaving in about an hour to head to work at 12 o'clock, but I have to pick up my prescription first. So, yay, I gotta go to Walmart early. That's not fun. But, first off, before I go any farther, I want to thank everyone for helping me hit 1,000 hits. Yay, awesome! I'm at 1,012, and considering I have been doing this for 2 months, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So everyone, thank you again for watching. Thank you for the few that I have subscribed, and thank you for continuing to watch. And hopefully more of you will subscribe and make some comments. Josh Phelps was the only one that's made a comment so far, and it was about Reunion 2013. So guys, make comments, please, honestly. And tell your friends about the YouTube channel. If you like it, go ahead and watch it. And follow me on Twitter, like I said, at Sir Owen Disney. Find me on Facebook if you'd like to. Buy all the Zack Ryder merchandise on WWE Shop. Never mind. Anyway, and take care. Spike. Anyway, I needed a reason to do that. Can't really spike this hair right now. Look how curly it is. It looks terrible. I have yet to get ready for the day, but I need to get this video out before I leave, so I am shooting this right now. It probably won't be uploaded till later tonight, so I'm sorry about that. But if I have some extra time at work, I'll utilize the free Wi-Fi in the mall, and I will try to upload it, because I do not see us being very busy today. It's freaking cold outside, and we'll probably get our regular customers. School's back in session, thankfully, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, another thing I want to talk about. Seems like December is getting longer, and we don't even have reunion dates yet. So, right now I talked to Will, and I talked to Will about one part of this, and the other part I have to talk to him about it later. Now, there's something in Orlando called a flex ticket, which basically gives you admission for 14 consecutive days to Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Wet n Wild, SeaWorld, and Aquatica. Well, I'd like to go to Aquatica really bad, and I think this might happen, so we're going to work on that. I'll see what Will says about that. It'll save us money in the long run, probably about $35 than buying the tickets outright. And it gets me to Aquatica, which means it gets me an extra day. Speaking of that, we're going to Legoland. Excuse me. We are going to Legoland. Yes, we are. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like right after reunion, right after the final meet on Sunday. We're going to hit up the Disney parks one last time, and after we're done at Disney, we're going to take Mirror's Transportation over to Nickelodeon Suites in Orlando, and we're going to check in there, and we're going to enjoy all the amenities of Nickelodeon Suites for 2 nights. Going to go to Legoland. It's going to be an awesome trip. Probably go to Aquatica. I don't know. I'll have to check with Will on that one. But it's already in the price, so why not? Honestly, not a bad idea. So that's where we are from there. I can tell it's going to be another long video. We are at 411 Mania once again. And 411 Mania is amazing. I'm looking up at 411 Mania right now. So this is our Tuesday Raw recap, which is the go-home show for the Royal Rumble. It was live from San Jose, California, which means it was 3 hours earlier than what we watched it. Started the show off basically with an MLK tribute, which I was expecting anyway, and I totally missed the opportunity to say I have a dream of meeting Penn and Teller at the very beginning of yesterday's monumentous Halloween Horror Nights Horror Story video, which I see a lot of you have already watched. I know it's 30 minutes long, but I've got a lot of heart behind it, and it's basically completely from the heart. And it's very important to me. I took a long time to make this video, so I hope you guys watch it, honestly. I really wanted you to see that video, because I spent a whole lot of time in my head deciding when I wanted to do it. And yesterday was the day. So we started off with the show with Vickie Guerrero and Paul Heyman entering the ring. Basically, it was a promo considering that what happened last week with The Rock concert and defaming both characters of Heyman and Vickie. And, of course, had to show the videos of Heyman's video and the absolutely hilarious Wonderful Tonight that was done at the expense of Vickie Guerrero. Pretty much after this was done, Vickie made the comment that she had the last laugh, and which would not be the the last time she'd have the last laugh, if that makes any sense. But basically, she had the last laugh because The Rock was barred from the building. So we cut to The Rock basically being held back by security, i.e. independent workers from California. Anyway, so we went back and forth, and we found out there's going to be a Beat the Clock challenge. 3 matches to determine the placement in the Royal Rumble. The winner of the Beat the Clock challenge would choose their spot. Well, they thought they would choose their spot in the Royal Rumble. We started off with the unstoppable United States champion Antonio Cesaro against Randy Orton. And after Orton lost to Wade Barrett, clean as a sheet on Raw last week, I thought that they would give Cesaro this victory. And it would have been rightfully so. We went about 12 minutes, close to 12 minutes, about 11 and a half, 11:36 to be specific, because I have the time right in front of me. And basically, one of the highlights of the match, Cesaro hits Swiss Death on Randy Orton. Swiss Death, if you don't know, Cesaro basically throws the guy up in the air and hits the European uppercut. And he did that to Randy Orton. It's one thing to do that to Tyson Kidd or Evan Bourne. No. He did that to Randy Orton. Randy Orton's 260 pounds. On a good day. I'm probably way off on that, but he's at least 230, 240. So, I mean, Claudio being able to have the strength to throw him up in the air. Don't forget, we also saw him hit the neutralizer on the Great Khali twice in the same week. So, I think, honestly, no disrespect to the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, but I honestly think that if they would have gave Antonio Cesaro that gimmick, it would have got over really well, because Claudio Castagnoli is literally the strongest wrestler on the roster. Ask him, he'll tell you, as he's drinking his awesome coffee. But anyway, we'll get to that, and we also had our official Hall of Fame video for Mick Foley's induction in the 2013 WWE Hall of Fame, which was awesome. WWE puts on great video packages and continuously watch them. Now, another thing real quick, as I'm just going to do a little side note. CM Punk's Best in the World documentary, amazing. If you don't like Punk, if you do like Punk, watch it. You'll feel a little bit differently if you're not a fan. You'll see what Punk's been through. I like how they talked to Chris Hero. That was awesome. And basically, a lot of Punk's friends putting him over and telling him about the trials and tribulations to get from Ian Rotten's IWA all the way to becoming the WWE champion. So we basically had a vignette from The Shield. I love this. I love this stuff. It's these ECW-esque promos. I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman has something to do with this. I know he does. But behind the scenes for sure. But basically The Shield was telling us that they're going to right the injustice, as they always do. Basically showing all the destruction they've caused since their debut at Survivor Series this year. Laying the waste. Roy Berg and Sheamus, Randy Orton, The Miz, pretty much going after anybody and everybody that moves, all in the name of justice. Now keep that in mind for later on tonight. The Big Show made his way to the ring. Yay, The Big Show, awesome. And out comes Zack Ryder. And yeah, Zack Ryder got squashed like a grape. Not cool at all. Brad Maddox came out to ringside and did some commentary before he got chased off, or he basically chased himself off. I like Brad Maddox as a character. I really like to see them do more with him, and I think this association... Wait a minute. That's next segment. I'll get to that in a minute. The association with Paul Heyman is going to help him considerably, and I think that's going to be the interference that gets Punk the win Sunday. But I'll talk about that in a minute. He thanks Michael Cole. Basically, Big Show says that the match against Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title on Sunday is going to be another last man standing match. And after he hit the knockout punch on Zack Ryder, he put his foot on his chest, and he started counting. He got halfway through, the fans started chanting, "What?" And basically, they ticked him off, so he just left the ring in a huff. Yay! The next thing you know, like I said, the segment, Paul Heyman talking on the phone, most likely to CM Punk, that was never really revealed. Talking about The Rock not being able to get in the arena thanks to Vicky's ban. Brad Maddox comes out. He's talking about he wants to become famous and making his dreams come true. Heyman realizes he's had a change of heart and realizes that Brad Maddox is the real deal, at least in his eyes. And there's going to be a possibility of him helping him make his dreams come true by siding with Paul Heyman. Which, like I said, I think that sets up perfectly for Maddox to be the reason that Punk wins on Sunday. Excuse me. We saw the amazing three-man band, which I love very much, wearing John Morrison's leftover gear, as he must have left it in the locker room. Somehow 3 pairs of gear in different towns, because they were wearing John Morrison's tights, straight up. And I say that every week, but it's very true. And they rock out, and yay, here comes Roy Berg, and awesome. He's out to squash Heath Slater. Basically, Slater gets some offense, that was good. Roy Berg decided he hits a double leg, which basically was like a 6 spine buster. He goes for the meat hook clothesline, which is the clothesline from hell. That thing just looks better every week. I will say that, honestly, the clothesline's getting a lot better. He nails Drew McIntyre, flips Jinder Mahal in the ring, tosses him into Drew McIntyre, knocking him off the apron. Slater gets hit with a shell shock, 1, 2, 3. Then they make the huge mistake of letting him talk. Do not let Ryback talk. Please, stop. Feed Skip Sheffield more lines. Honestly, he does not need to talk. He's an unstoppable monster. WCW made that mistake with Goldberg when right after his first match with Hugh Morris on Nitro in September, you had Goldberg speak. Don't do that. He needs to be a silent killer. I hate Ryback, but I think I hate Ryback because they're not using him to the full capabilities that he's capable of. Skip Sheffield is a student of the game, like I've said in numerous videos. And when it comes down to it, I may not like Ryback, but the fans do, and they want to get into him. So give him an opportunity to be that unstoppable, silent monster. And I think that'll work really well. Rock's still backstage, basically saying that the cops are there to serve and protect the people, not Vicky Guerrero. Find out there is one of the cops that has a ticket to the show, and he's, of course, missing the show and being with his family because he is doing Vicky's dirty work. And The Rock decides he has an idea, but first, Vicky says he can lift the ban completely if The Rock apologizes. Well, The Rock, in his own way, basically says he's not apologizing, he's going to be in the ring one way or another, and Vicky is still up. Well, the B word that we used last week on Raw, biatch, which internet spelling is B-E-E-Y-O-T-C-H. But, of course, we use the regular internet spelling of B-I-A-T-C-H. So Rock's plan is pretty much set in motion, and we realize Raw Roulette's going to be coming to Vegas next week, so we're going to have Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal, without Cheatham this time around. No Cheatham the Midget, no White Castle of Fear, no Coal Miner's Glove with Jake the Snake Roberts. No, Raw Roulette, completely different. All gimmick matches, all the time. Punk comes down, cuts a very, very interesting promo, basically saying that the WWE title means more to him than most people's families do to them. He said for 428 days, he has been the man working half of his life to attain the most prestigious title the WWE has to offer. He won't let Rock take it. He won't let anyone take it from him. He says that he's here to hurt people and to be the champion, and The Rock's just there to entertain and electrify. So basically, the title is very important to CM Punk. That's pretty much what the promo was all about. The Rock is basically the people's champion, and Punk is the real champion. So, talking about blood, sweat, and tears, and how he has worked so hard to be the WWE champion for so many days, and The Rock can enjoy being the people's champion because of the Rumble, the people don't matter. And I'll use this exact quote. It won't matter what The Rock is cooking because the championship will stay with the best in the world. Punk with another stellar promo. And we find out John Cena is going to talk to the WWE Universe at the end of the show. Yay, John Cena closing the show. The Royal Rumble Go-Home show. When you should be focusing on The Rock and Punk. My God, WWE, you are losing your mind. What am I talking about? WWE lost their mind years ago. Stupid soap opera writers. But anyway, another Beat the Clock Challenge match that I called specifically between my t-shirt collection, Dolph Ziggler against The Miz. And the match went pretty good. It went almost 11 minutes, about 10:56. We set it up. Miz went for the figure 4 leg lock after a great back and forth match. Ziggler kicked him off the ropes. Miz avoided Big E Langston in a stutter step because Langston looks like he missed his cue, honestly, because he basically should like he was supposed to go up on the apron or go to the side and nail Miz on the ropes, but he basically just stood there like, yeah, that's right. And I don't think that was supposed to happen. If you're in the wrestling business or was in the wrestling business, you would know that that's called missing a cue, and that wasn't cool. But everything was fine because Ziggler hit the zigzag, and 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes till 11, Dolph sets the pace. We find out there's going to be an anger management graduation with Dr. Shelby next on Raw. And we basically had Dr. Shelby come out and present Daniel Bryan and Kane with their cap and gown. We had a whole ceremony. They were all clad in their, like I said, in their cap and gown. Of course, they moved over to the side after everything was over. But before, they had to determine who is the valedictorian. Kane wanted Daniel to be the valedictorian. Daniel wanted Kane. We went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Dr. Shelby shot him down. So Dr. Shelby chant throughout San Jose. It was loud and deafening. And basically said, would a hug help? Danielson basically said, yeah, I guess. And so did Kane. And the entire crowd, we basically did a kiss cam for the entire audience with everyone in the building hugging it out at the same time. That just ended with some really awesome Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler hugging. And Dr. Lawson, which he's WWE Medical. And Justin Roberts hugging. Crowd hugging. And then a three-way hug between Hell No and Dr. Shelby, which popped the entire crowd. And Danielson and Kane are really working together as a team. The odd couple routine is finally working. The only problem I'm seeing with this is they're going to lose the belts on Sunday. And if they lose the belts, there's money to be made with rematches, but you're heading towards a split down the road. I don't know who to make the heel, because Daniel Bryan is probably the right choice. Kane's more of a monster, but he's been more of a babyface lately. I mean, Kane's a better heel, but he's a funny babyface, so that works to his advantage. I think Daniel Bryan personally will be the heel, but, I mean, they're pushing Daniel Bryan as a face right now. He's more face than tweener. So either way could go. And I think we're going to see some rematches before they decide to split the team up. We ended up having a non-title match between the Queen of Botch herself, Alicia Fox, and the new Divas champion, Caitlyn, who basically only is champion because Eve left the company. Sorry, Caitlyn, it's true. You're getting better in the ring, but no. I mean, bring Paige up. Sarah Del Rey, seriously, train some more girls to come in and win championships. Honestly, so much female talent in the world, and this is what we get on Raw. Sad state of affairs. Caitlyn hits her spear, this time not as devious as it was on Eve last week when she won the championship. And we go home. Punk goes to a luxury box to watch Paul Heyman's Paul Bomb. And basically comes out. He pretty much says that everything Punk said is going over our heads. We're commoners, and we don't understand someone as intelligent as CM Punk and what he's trying to tell us. Basically saying he's going to be our translator. So Punk will win because Vince is basically saying The Rock is the flavor of the month. And with the 3 movies he has in the next couple of months, I guess that kind of works. So he's basically putting all his chips on The Rock being the one to unseat Punk. And because no one else can do it. John Cena couldn't do it. Dolph Ziggler couldn't do it. Sheamus couldn't do it. And there's one person that comes to mind, and I'm pretty sure at W. Patton is exactly what I'm talking about. WrestleMania 30. And come on, guys. I mean, seriously. The ball's already set in motion. You've laid the groundwork. Make it happen. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, basically, The Rock comes out, like everyone knew he would. And he has a ticket, like everyone knew he would. He thanks the police department for the ticket, and he basically says he's going to beat the daylights out of Paul Heyman if he doesn't exit the ring. So Heyman does. And basically, Rock is staring up at Punk up in the luxury box. He basically said Punk is great. There's no doubt about it. And he's way too focused on The Rock's relation with the people. And he loves the word respect. Obviously, Punk does love the word respect. Rock guarantees if they would step outside, he'd rip Punk's face off. Rock says, like MLK, he does have a dream to climb the mountaintop. When he wins the title, the people will be free at last. God almighty, they will be free at last. Props to The Rock for coming up with that, or WWE writers for doing that, because it fits really well, given the fact it was Martin Luther King Day yesterday. So the lights go out. The Shield's in the ring. Yeah. WNL listeners and members of the SNS radio network. Facebook group mainly. Not gonna happen now, guys. Sorry, the Shield's not working for The Rock, because they beat the daylights out of him. Of course, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins obliterate The Rock, hit the triple powerbomb, and the Shield leaves the ring. They powder, they're gone. Punk grabs a microphone and basically says, "There's only room at the mountaintop for one. Freedom does have a price, and the thing about dreams, eventually you wake up from them." And The Rock wakes up, he'll realize the great one just wasn't great enough. Another tremendous statement from CM Punk. This promo war has been amazing. And I like the fact that they're pushing this. This shouldn't be the Rumble, guys. This should be WrestleMania. CM Punk and The Rock on the mic, back and forth till Mania. It needs to happen. And there's a way to do it. And I'll make that statement known right now. But I'll have to bring it up in a minute because there's a reason why. Now, Rock is coughing up blood in a really interesting scene we shot from the side. We had an MLK tribute, and then, of course, we recap what the Shield just did to The Rock. The final beat of the Clock Challenge match was between the Intercontinental Champion, Wade Barrett, who was my pick to win the Royal Rumble last year, and obviously not this year because I have another idea in mind, against Sheamus. Basically, the time to beat was Dolph's 10:56. So, pretty much, Barrett goes for Wasteland, Sheamus slips out, goes for White Noise, Sheamus goes for the Brogue Kick, he's hitting his chest in the corner, AJ, Langston, and Ziggler hit the ring apron, AJ gets in the ring, distracts Sheamus, Barrett hits the Winds of Change, which, as anyone knows, would be the Black Hole Slam. Near fall, Ziggler watching the clock. Barrett goes for the bullhammer, readies the elbow in the corner, charges in, Brogue Kick, right before the 3 count, clock runs out. So Dolph Ziggler is the winner of the Beat the Clock Challenge. And I will say right now, Dolph Ziggler, Money in the Bank briefcase or not, is my pick to win the 2013 Royal Rumble. And let me tell you why. Here's exactly what I think is going to happen, and this has happened before. I say Ziggler gets tossed while the referee's distracted. While the referee's distracted, we finally get down, we get our 30th man to come out. Ziggler, of course, slips back in the ring because no one realized he was eliminated. Ziggler eliminates John Cena. Boom! Dolph Ziggler wins the Royal Rumble. And he goes to WrestleMania like he deserves. So, basically, Vicky comes in, does a backstage segment with Dolph, AJ, and Big E Langston, and totally rains on the show-off's parade. When Dolph was saying and bragging like he always does that, excuse me, he could pick any number in the Rumble. And of course he was going to choose number 30, everyone knows that. Vicky made the announcement there that he could choose 1 or 2. So if Dolph wants to be the show-off he truly is, he's going to have to go the limit. He's going to have to go 1 to 30. And if anyone can do it in the WWE, Dolph Ziggler definitely can. Excuse me. Basically, we had a backstage segment with Punk and Heyman. They're about to leave the building, and they run into Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon basically says that if the Shield interferes at the Rumble Sunday, Punk will be stripped of the championship. Remember that thing I said about Brad Maddox earlier? That's where this comes into play. I see Punk winning via Brad Maddox interference, because obviously the Shield can interfere. And they already beat up The Rock, so we've already got the deck stacked. I say Punk wins, rightfully, and if they really want The Rock to win the WWE title, they do an Elimination Chamber. It comes down to Rock and Punk, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, Rock wins. We do a tease of Rock and Cena in the middle of the match, but then 2 heels jump them, and we have the Hogan Warrior thing that they did with Mr. Perfect and the Genius back in 1990. So, that's the way you do it. If you really want to build Cena and The Rock too, which I don't know why, and you're wasting Punk and Rock on the Rumble and not at WrestleMania, this is the way to do it. So, you're welcome. Thank you, Damian Sandow. So, we get to a non-title match with Alberto Del Rio against Lord Whoa, can't say that on the internet. Not on my YouTube channel. Against Lord Tensai. And Tensai gets some offense, and the crowd starts going with the C chant. which the Big Show, of course, outed in a funny line. I don't know why they're chanting for the letter C. What does it have to do with anything? That was funny last week. Good job, Show. I don't like you, but you are a funny gentleman. Anyway, and props to Bronx for watching The Waterboy, Captain Insano. Anyway, basically, it's set up Enziguri, and ADR hits his brand new babyface finisher, which was a very sloppy second row moonsault that barely hit the Big Show. So, you need to move him out a little bit more so it looks a little bit more impressive. If you're going to use the moonsault, that's fine. The step up Enziguri and the moonsault, that's a good babyface finish, because you're really not... Doesn't make sense to tap someone out as a babyface unless it's part of your gimmick, and ADR really wouldn't work. That's really why they got rid of the vehicles, and Ricardo is a lot more fan-friendly now, wearing the red, white, and green bow tie, which is awesome. So, we announced the next member of the 2013 WWE Hall of Fame is Mr. Bob Backlund. Yes, Bob Backlund finally to be inducted in Madison Square Garden, where he won the WWF Championship, and consequently, many years later, lost the WWF Championship to Kevin Nash in, I believe it's 8 seconds? Yeah, I think that's right. So, we got to that. Cena comes out, so this is our final promo of the evening. So John Cena is going to be the final segment on the Go Home Raw for the Royal Rumble. Doesn't make any sense. Cena's not really involved in anything at the Rumble except for the Rumble itself. So this should have been Punk and Rock's segment, and we should have went out on the Shield laying out the Rock, and then Punk sitting up in the skybox, and we fade to black. But I guess there was a reason for this because of the way the segment ended. We had a really, really mixed reaction for Cena, but a lot more boos this time around. I mean, Cena got booed out of the building pretty much. There were like 200 people maybe cheering for Cena, and the rest just totally against him. So if WWE want to have Cena be cheered at WrestleMania against The Rock, they're really going to have to do something to The Rock's character, and having him being part of the Shield would be the right idea. The problem is now you've had the Shield destroy The Rock. So, the only way you can really do that now is can't beat him, join him, and I'm pretty sure that's a cop-out at this point. So, basically, Cena does his normal song and dance routine, talking to the crowd, and he talks about video games, and hangovers, Jaeger bombs, women's night out. I mean, just pointless. Basically talking about Sunday, and what people do on Sunday, and on this Sunday, John Cena proclaims he's going to win the 2013 Royal Rumble. Again. Second Cena says this, Sheamus comes out, says, because he of course was last year's winner, and he basically disagreed, saying he's going to repeat. And then the Primetime Players hit the ring with brand new music, and I love the Primetime Players. I really wish they'd utilize them more, especially Titus O'Neil, because he is gold on the mic, sir. Gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. Randy Orton, The Miz, Antonio Cesaro, 3MB, all hit the ring. They're all guaranteeing victory, and then the entire roster just hits the ring, and we have this huge Royal Rumble-style brawl to end the show. The funny thing is, we don't end on anything specifically. It's just basically just brawling left and right. So, very strange. Very strange when they did that. Not a very solid go-home for the Royal Rumble. 3 good matches. 3 really good beat-the-clock matches that I enjoyed very much. That went the distance, which was awesome. Of that squash on Zack Ryder, which really didn't need to be done, but I guess it's building up the Big Show's Last Man Standing match. That's fine. ADR against Tensai, alright, okay, I guess I can deal with that. All the promos, but honestly, I really think that the final image we should have had was The Rock sprawled out in the middle of the ring, coughing up blood, thanks to the attack from the Shield, and CM Punk sitting in the skybox, just like smirking at him, like, I'll see you on Sunday. But, his lackluster Raw. Once again, thank you for watching the videos, thank you for enjoying the Raw recap, and I'll be back with you with another recap Friday for TNA Impact, which I'm a whole lot more interested in Impact this week than I am about Raw. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with the Aces and Eights, and I know what happens on Impact. I'm trying to forget. We're going to see the World Heavyweight title match, the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels against the charismatic Enigma Jeff Hardy. I know what happens. I'm not happy about it, but we'll see what happens, and Taz and the Aces and Eights, who would have guessed? But until tomorrow, which I will chat with you guys later, that's all I gotta say about that.